How is it going today? Lord, let's keep it with Dwayne.
My name's Jazz.
We're Dwayne Jazz. Today we have for you Llama Arts Scary Field Trip Horror Stories Animated.
Yes.
Alright, we love horror. And let's just get into it, guys. If you have any rash requests, please follow us on all our social medias and links below. And don't forget to
subscribe.
Let's dive on it. Scary Field Trip Horror Stories.
What was that?
That's like my Dracula.
That's Dracula.
Back in high school,
Do it
it was like
again.
a mysteries and mythology type class, or something like that. I don't remember the name of the class. It basically just had to do with real life mysteries and creepy shit. I was into
cool.
that kind of stuff.
That's a
I
fun
was
class.
taking the class with a good friend, who I'll call Ben for this story. The teacher of the class took us on a field trip to a nearby abandoned village with an unknown past. The village was built
Like
in
some
the early
ritual.
1900s, but seems as though it had been quickly abandoned shortly after it was built. The bus ride there was about 20 minutes. All of us were glued to the bus windows as we pulled up some sketchy-looking, decrepit road cutting through dense forest. The road eventually led to a clearing. We were there. We stepped out onto the road, which had grass growing through the cracks. The grass surrounding was almost knee-high. Then there were the buildings.
Oh no.
The tall, archaic brick buildings with the boarded-up windows all gave off such chilling vibes. The teacher lined all 20 of us up, counted heads, and then began leading the way.
He trying to kill y'all.
The point of this little field
He
trip
counting
was
how
to
many he
use
got
the
killed.
so-called skills we learned in class to see if we could put anything together about why the village may have been abandoned so long ago. Some of the buildings had holes in the walls to serve as entryways. There were even holes in the ground next to some of the buildings, seemingly dug to get into the
Tunnels?
basements of some of the buildings, which seemed creepy. There was one building, though. It stood taller than any of the others. It just intrigued me the most. While the teacher was leading the group towards the village church, Ben and I decided to sneak off on our own
Of
to look for
course,
anything
go along.
interesting. When we walked off in the direction of the tallest building, we saw a hole in the ground. It was dug by the back door of the building, which had been sealed off. In the hole was a ladder, which led down to the concrete floor below. We both looked at each other and knew we had to do it. Ben climbed down first, then me. Luckily, this was just around the time Apple started putting flashlights on their phones, so we had a source of light. It was creepy down there. There were a couple of beer bottles, one graffiti tag on the wall, and dusty wooden planks everywhere. There was a wooden stairway which led up to complete darkness, since all windows and doors had been sealed shut from above. We had already gone as far as to enter the building, so we figured we'd go up the stairs too.
You just might as well keep going.
I went
right?
first, and with each step, the creakiness of the 100-year-old wood made me feel as if I was going to fall through each and every step.
Right.
Ben followed suit.
And he fell.
This floor of the building was very tight. It seemed like there were many openings going off into different, smaller rooms. It was so dark in there, you would never even guess it was daytime. Ben and I were honestly starting to get creeped out in there, and agreed to go back outside. But just then, there was a noise in one of the tiny rooms. Like a big rock hitting the concrete floor.
Oh no.
Get
A
out.
normal instinct
Get out
would
now.
be to run. But Ben and I froze, locked eyes for a moment, then both tiptoed over to the opening of the room.
Why?
We shined the
Okay.
lights into the room and ran.
What was in it?
We ran back down the stairs and then up the rusty ladder back outside.
What'd you see?
We caught up to the group out of breath. We didn't say anything, though, to avoid getting in trouble. One of our classmates asked us what was wrong. We told him we snuck into one of the buildings. And in one of the rooms, when we shined the light into it, we saw 3 guys standing maybe 10 feet away from the doorway,
Ooh.
facing Ben and I in a weird formation, as if they were waiting for us. As we continued following the group, we paid extra attention to the tall building we
It's
entered
like
from
some
the distance.
Illuminati stuff.
And before leaving, we saw a person's face at one of the higher level windows that had not been boarded up. We never told the teacher in fear of getting in trouble. We didn't know what to think. Were those just homeless people living in there?
No.
Were they gang members in hiding? Ben freaks me out with his theory.
Illuminati.
He says
ghosts.
they were ghosts of the people who once lived in the town. Still, the way the three guys were just hauntingly standing there so calmly, staring at us the moment we peeked our heads through that doorway, I still can't get that image out of my head. I may go back to that village one day, just to prove Ben's idea wrong.
Not by yourself. You better take a crew with you.
I would not be returning. I don't think
I'll be taking a crew with me. I ain't messing with that.
Be like, y'all go in and tell me what you see. I don't think so. I won't be returning.
You won't be returning?
I won't be returning at all. And first of all, when I hear the rock move, I'm going the opposite way. I'm not gonna go see what made that sound. I'm gonna go.
I wanna,
So.
yeah, I wanna do it like.
But I mean, it would have been. I think they would have got extra credit though. Now that I think about it, that class was made for them.
They were not supposed to do that. You know?
They weren't supposed to, but he said explore, so they did. So technically, I did.
That's Jasmine. That's Jasmine for you. Okay, you go ahead, explore and dive if you want to.
No, I'm just saying to save themselves since they didn't want to get in trouble. I'm definitely not leaving the group, but since they did, I would have used that as my excuse. Like, okay, so we're supposed to explore the grounds. This place is part of the grounds, and I went there, and I saw something and heard something, so I'm bringing it back to you.
Yeah. Okay.
So
you guys, comment below. Tell us what you think.
don't forget to like,
Subscribe
and share.
More.